Here's a painting that I did for Ganesh Puja for my daughter. And then we have mangroves and champak trees from my childhood. Most of us are drawn to art to experience something magical or surreal, maybe. This is a painting of Ma Kalijai temple in Chilika. And now I am working on two paintings, Bhimidra Waterfalls, Satkosia, and Birds at Chilika Lake. Namaskar. In this video, I will discuss how nature played a significant role in the creation of art objects in Odisha. The distinctive culture of Odisha is due to its isolation from other parts of India, being surrounded by forests and waterways. Sometimes the people identify recurring problems in an area and give it a recognition by giving it a sacred narrative. Some other times the places are associated with myths and legends. Ma Kalijai of Chilka Lake is one such example. Many Odia poets and scholars have contemplated on the beauty of Chilka Lake. A couple of lines from a poem by poet and social activist Pandita Gopabandhu Das. रह रह क्षणे बाष्पीय सकट देखिबि चिलिका चारु चित्रपट चित्रमणि जेणु नाही अनुभव वास्तव विश्वे की छवि संभव. The ferocious nature and the depth of its waters has also been touched upon by writers and poets. And also the myth of Kalijai, the local deity, has been discussed. Pandita Godabarisa Misra writes about Chilka Lake in Kalijai re Sandhya. Katorokhi nabe nauri nela ahula kare Ma Kalijai sumari manga salakhi dhare. चाहू चाहू जाई गभीर जले पड़िला ना अकात पानी से गंडरे काली जाई ताना. Pandita Godavarisa Misra has also penned down another poem, Kalijai, in which he describes the story of Jai, the local girl, and her sad demise on her way to her in-laws' place. According to the local myth, whereas Kali refers to goddess Kali of the Hindu pantheon, Jai refers to the name of the local girl. In a small island of approximately 29 acres within Chilika Lake, we have the Kalijai temple. It's a special attraction for tourists and locals alike. The folklore and stories that make up the myth of a place describe the fear, desires, and the attempt by locals to overcome obstacles who pray before the local deity. Goddess Tara of Buddhism was very common in Odisha in the 8th century under the Bhaumakaras. Tara in Buddhism is regarded as a female bodhisattva of compassion and action. Many other deities of the Hindu, Buddhist and Jain traditions such as Ganesha, Saptamatrikas, 64 yoginis are also commonly worshipped in Odisha. Their origins can be traced back to the Yakshas and Yakshis as mentioned by Ananda Kumaraswamy, who can be kindly but can fight fiercely as guardians. In the Navamuni cave of Khandagiri hills of Bhubaneswar, we find 7 female sculptures dating back to the 2nd century. These figures of Sasana Devis are carved with different attributes such as one of them has 10 arms, few of them have 4 arms, one of them has 2 arms. Some of them carry a small child in their arms. In the Hindu temples of Bhubaneswar, Saptamatrika images can be seen, very well executed in some of the oldest temples. In Parshurameswara temple of the 6th century, Saptamatrika images are found along with Ganesha and Veerabhadra. They are Chamundi, Varahi, Indrani, Vaishnavi, Kaumari, Maheshwari and Brahmani. Some of the Bhanja kings and Sukis were ardent worshippers of Stambeshwari. In present times, almost every village in Odisha worships Mother Goddess with a different name. All Matrika figures are associated with Lord Ganesha. Ganesha is worshipped as the main deity as well as Parshva Devata in Odisha. The figure of Ganesha begins to appear in Gupta art in about 400 CE in Bhumara and Deogarh. According to Ananda Kumara Swami, nature, fertility, abundance, growth, vigor, and warding of evil are not just achieved in India through religious rituals, but through their representation in art. He draws our attention to the meticulous craftsmanship of Indians even during the earliest sculptures at Bharat, and he discusses Salabhanjikas dating to 150 CE. The significance of nature spirits comes back with added zest in the temples built in the Shaiva, Shakta, and Vaishnava tradition of medieval Odisha. We find most of the sculptural decorations in the temple are animated with representations of the Nagas, Yakshas, and other nature deities. There is the typical lotus scroll that forms the outline of almost every sculpture. And here we have some beautiful details from Parshurameshwara temple of 7th century. Ferguson, in his Birdwood Memorial Lecture in August 1923, mentions that India's love for an excellent craftsmanship in ornamental design comes from the indigenous inhabitants. In Odisha's temples, many details were slowly standardized and led to evolve from the 6th to the 12th centuries, whereas others were refined into very complex designs. A lot of questions are raised about how the deities at the upper levels of the Hindu pantheon are related to the village level Gram devatas. But for majority of Indians, there is no relevance or impulse to define the difference between the lower level and the higher level of gods. Each of these deities are a manifestation of the supreme God, and the significance of each deity depends on the level of understanding and interpretation by the observer to aid him in his seeking.
ଭାଦ୍ରବ ମାସ ରବିବାର ଖୁଦୁରୁକୁଣି ଆଦ୍ୟାସାର ସେଦିନ ଉପବାସ କରି ମଙ୍ଗଳା ଦେବୀଙ୍କୁ ସୁମରି ଓଷା ମନ୍ଦିର ଯତ୍ନ କଲେ ଚୂନରେ ଯତନେ ଲେପିଲେ ମଙ୍ଗଳା ଦେବୀ ରୂପ ଲେଖି ସମସ୍ତେ ମାନ୍ୟ କଲେ ଆସି ସାତ ବୋଇତ ଯେ ଦେଖିଲେ ସାତ ସାଧବ ବସାଇଲେ ତପୋଇକୁ ମଙ୍ଗ କୋଣେ ଦେଖି ହସିଲେ ଜଣେ ଜଣେ ବୋଇଲେ ପରି ସୁନ୍ଦରୀ ନାକ କାଟିଲା ସବୁଙ୍କରି ସାନ ବୋହୂର ପ୍ରୀତି ସିନା ଭାଇମାନଙ୍କର ଦୁଲଣା କେବଳେ ନଣନ୍ଦ ଆମର କରିଛି ଯେତେ ଉପକାର କେବଳେ ଦୋଳିରେ ବସିଲା କେବଳେ ଛେଳି ରଖିଥିଲା କେବଳେ ଭାତ ମୂଷା ମାଟି ବନସ୍ତେ ଖାଉଥିଲା ଖୁଣ୍ଟି ପାଉଁଶ ଲୁଣ ଯେ ଖାଇଲା ତେଣୁଟି ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ କହିଲା କେବଳ ଏହିଠାରେ ତୀକ୍ଷ୍ଣ ଛୁରୀଟି ଦେଲି କରେ ପୁଣି ଯେ ନାକଟି କାଟିବ ଆମ୍ଭକୁ ବଳି ବିନାଶିବ ଏମନ୍ତ ପରିହାସ କରି କହନ୍ତି ସାଧବର ନାରୀ ତହିଁ ଉତାରୁ ସବୁ ଗଲେ ଯେ ଯାହା ବିଧି ଯେ ଆଣିଲେ ବିବିଧ ଫୁଲ ମାଳ ମାନ କର୍ପୂର କସ୍ତୁରୀ ଚନ୍ଦନ ଅଗୁରୁ ଧୂପ ଦୀପାବଳି ବନ୍ଦଇ ଦେଲେ ହୁଳହୁଳି ଶ୍ରୀଫଳ ଆଦି ଯେତେ ଫଳ କାକୁଡ଼ି ମକା ଯେ କାଡ଼ିଳ ଉଖୁଡ଼ା ମୁଆଁ ଠୁଳ କରି ଚାଙ୍ଗୁଡ଼ା ମାନଙ୍କରେ ଭରି ଦେଇଣ ମଙ୍ଗଲା ପୂଜିଲେ ଆନନ୍ଦେ ହୁଳହୁଳି ଦେଲେ ଉଠିଣ ଗଲେ ଯେ ଯା ଘରେ ଆସି ମିଳିଲେ ପ୍ରଭାତରେ ଏମନ୍ତ ପ୍ରତିପାଳି କରି ପ୍ରାତଃ ସ୍ନାନକୁ ତହିଁ ସାରି ପଥେ ଆସନ୍ତି ହୁଳହୁଳି ଦିଅନ୍ତି ରବିଣ ଦୁଲାରି ଯାହାର ଯେ ଇଚ୍ଛା କଳ୍ପନା ମଙ୍ଗଳା ନାମେ ସୁମରଣା। କହନ୍ତି ଯେଝା ମନ ଜାଣି ଦୟା କରନ୍ତି ଠାକୁରାଣୀ। ଲେଖିଲା ଗୋପୀନାଥ ଦାସ ଏ ତ ପୋଇ ଗୀତ ଶେଷ। କହନ୍ତି ପ୍ରଭୁ ପିତ ବାସ ରୁକ୍ମିଣୀ ସତ୍ୟଭାମା ତୋଷ।